You've ascended the ladder of adulthood. Chesto! This will be... It's useless.
Please stop!
You're right. Now's not the time for me to... The victim this time is Nagito. Who in the world killed...
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were...
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to... Wait.
Don't say something so stupid!
Traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito. Saber. Are they the same person or...
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds. Torturing him. Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to I'm telling you, they were torturing...
The reason Nagito's body was covered...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first!
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth. I'm telling you, they were
The reason Nagito's body was covered...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Hold on.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
Nope.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were
The reason Nagito's body...
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
Nope. I need to think. Of course I done that. It was...
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have... If he was being tortured for information...
I'm prepared. I just realized...
Trap?
Stupid Hajime... Like you said, Nagito's mouth, you obviously assumed he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how at first, the killer tortured Nagi and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him, they duct taped his mouth shut.
Damn it!
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, He obviously assumed he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down!
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention, this is how it went down. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got in. Then, after they killed down. First, the killer tortured and got information about the bomb's location.
Damn it.
of course.
We will never give up!
Duct tape for
Like you said. If Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
But if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how... First, the killer tortured Nagi and got information about the bomb's location. Then, after they killed him...
Of course there was fucking duct tape.
No.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
Oh yeah, like with the screen. Fucking dumbass. Probably taking about 5 minutes to realize that.
What did you say?
Who cares about the duct tape? We don't need to play a game.
Why do you always side with her?
Are you
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's... The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape.
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles. He must have been struggling to open his...
Perhaps the duct tape was used so we wouldn't be able to... Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth,
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
then... Are you saying the killer was... If so, friggin...
No, they didn't just go crazy. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire...
The warehouse...
Can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was Yeah, and right after I opened... Which means, it is...
Killer isn't one of us. But
Even if it was only a coincidence.
Based on the pattern up in... We should suspect that some kind of set. I do not know that.
that's on Miss Sonia. Alrighty then. Let's think about this.
Damn right it...
The reason for the fire, huh? Yeah, you need to clear out first. Panels.
The direct cause of the fire was... The oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter. Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way? Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused...
I agree with that.
That's about 4 times advantage.
I also agree that opening...
Just as I thought, it...
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right?
This is why it's beneficial. Not
It
doing
looked like
actual
they were
work.
scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma...
Domino effect. In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second, and from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark...
And one more thing. There were...
This is one of the things I don't know effect and you didn't have to
I see!
MP3 player.
You're talking about the MP... That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound...
Inside the warehouse, rather than dark, was always distributing so bright sun outside. In that darkness, loud neglect. The warehouse out full of women. Oh yeah, it does sound like a hymn. Yeah, it's really damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap?
That's it. So but those sounds weren't the only... Looking back on it, it was... So the door was... And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter. Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space.
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean...
That door's the only entrance to the warehouse. Let's see, so that's what I'm trying to talk about is...
I see!
If the panel was so close to the door, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it...
Does that mean they were hiding in...
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up... You don't have to think so hard.
You don't mean...
But that's true. Murder.
Hajime?
The person who saw the domino effect inside the warehouse. So many people have done
This is my answer! What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him?
He wasn't just the...
Huh?
Not just the victim.
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? His body was covered in torture wounds.
But... Not...
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember?
He didn't refer to it as his opening act in the end of the trial.
Even for a creep like Nagito,
Yeah,
Yeet.
it seems we need to discuss how
Needed. That's not necessary at all.
Like you said, it seems impossible if you think of it, but maybe come over and look at it. Friend vote.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but... Tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Well, I think that now you're taking it too far. Yeah, some people tell yourself at two. Still time with the arms and legs and stuff. You didn't try both arms and legs.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but... Tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
Nope, of course not.
To actually tie up your own arms and... No, that's wrong.
Hold on a sec.
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. But that was part of the trap.
I think I'm going to move on Nagato's right arm. If I leave.
I see!
Yep.
Take a close look at it. Even though the rope was burnt up, the sleeve wasn't burned at all. A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was...
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! Akane, you should not give it away for free!
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a...
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about... I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
It is impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. That much.
Hajime,
No one needs to put a card in. No one's on your back.
Hold on.
Then hurry up.
If it's something lame, I'll make you get back to bed.
I want you to put yourself in the right hand. Maybe in the right hand. Okay, you definitely know. Monokuma, fleshy.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
if he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way? Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
A life-size Monokuma plushie.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that. That's it. He had to place the plushie near him.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something. A bleeding plushie is super scary! It's...
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off.
Probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now for your...
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but... The spear. Basically, if you think about the order, getting killed by the spear, if that's true, how is that? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick...
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated...
Say it one more time. I need you recorded. For reasons.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out!
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
No, that's the fact his hand is like this, means he's holding on to something.
You say you can't believe it? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again!
You just shut your mouth! It's against the rules to interfere with everyone! If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own!
Momonomi's sassing me!
But it's just as Monokuma said. This might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course, that doesn't include Miss Sonia and...
As Kazuichi said, it's true. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible. I feel that there's...
What kind of...
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by my... That's how. We made it this far up till now. Everyone, working...
He's like, we made it through several deals up until now by doing it.
Alright, let's do this.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through. When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, that's wrong.
Hold on. It's still too early.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered,
That settles the description of that bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand. Around the middle...
like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain.
We might need to think and use our if there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand.
How did Nagito that time? There in the blood splat.
I see!
Skipping.
When the blood splattered, he was probably that's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
No. And I thought the third chapter was for
Perish the thought! He was obvious! Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, he probably made his wounds mild on purpose. So he could...
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you... Hey, don't tell me you're getting...
At times like this, you should all...
Oh, I got it!
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
I see!
That's it! Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. And then, the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung this...
That is where the clue to solve this mystery was... I am sorry. Of course this mystery will...
Nagito's gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear in his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear?
It seems we are stuck. At a time like... How about we stick to...
That's a long plan, Nate.
One step at a time. Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Above. Nagito was facing up and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So if it's just before that, spear stabbed Nagito perpendicularly and he was holding the tip of his cord. How could he nice together when you want to come and run up and think about it. It feels pretty hard. Figure out where the spear was and what spear didn't quite stab Nugget. Logic die. Alright. Question 1. Above Nagito. Ow! Ow! Question 2. Ceiling Gupta. What item is next? Great grandpa being switch off. What you expect when you idle level up to inspection.
The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular. In the middle of the...
If Nagito did that all by himself, that'd be awesome, but he'd probably use the ceiling girder directly above him.
Yes, the ceiling Gupta.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him.
Hey, iron bruise me. Let's go.
And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was...
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder. So, how about it? Using this... Are you serious?
He... probably... If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over, why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then, this is... he really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Not just that, he did all... That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth, too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far?
Oh yeah, because when he took it off. Yeah, no.
That's beyond crazy! Why would he do that to himself?
He was probably trying to get us by committing a suicide that looked like a murder. Stole it.
And that's why...
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
Ladyless readers capture for malice. Mind-boggling malice. Even that thing today. That's coming malice. Gone all time.
However, there was one thing I still do. Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to...
So why did he not just do that if he had no qualms with killing everyone?
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind... He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us... He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other. It tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that...
You are right.
Yeah. It appears we've come to a... Bastard Nagito committed...
That should be okay.
what?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself. It's probably just my imagination.
Wait, I sort of understand what she's talking. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito thinks. Why not be so easy about it? Because we don't know who the
So what are you gonna do?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's...
You're right.
Then, if that means we're done with this it's okay to read such a...
Then it's okay? Understood!
No! Hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I can't help but feel like...
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right?
That's true.
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is. No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is... I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor...
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense. And it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't...
Something relating to Nagito's death, and it's something that even he can...
You're gonna keep going?
Something relating to Nagito's death. Please, yeah. Grenades.
I see!
Oh, it was the Monokuma file.
Is it about the Monica?
Yeah, that's it. Huh? There was something to...
The victim is Nagito Kameda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie. The estimated time there was linked to the new machine. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file that kept his reader. What could mean the Monokuma? Cause of death. That took longer than I expected.
In this particular case, is Monokuma...
Isn't that weird? Until now, the file's always said... But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was the cause of death.
Maybe it's not included if it's not...
Well, I plead the fifth!
Here he goes again!
But even during Gundam's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma...
Are you saying that
Hold on a sec. Are you suggesting again?
You guys were the ones who said...
No, I don't think it's a mistake, but it's not. Come to think of it, did Nagito really?
Are you sticking up?
That's not what I meant. I mean...
Bad scent?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations. And that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito.
Because you believe in his mouth. I see.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied.
You're right.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice.
This is friggin' annoying, but if you guys say you're doing it...
Hey, Monokuma!
We've come this far. That's what I believe.
Oh, splendid. That's right.
If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking.
No! So if we're working together, where do we start?
Why don't we try removing all our In the beginning, our discussion advanced by it's better to confirm if there are any other
possibilities.
If something other than the spear killed Nagito...
That was definitely a gruesome wound.
If you think the cuts on his leg...
Are we finished already?
I feel like...
Oh, look.
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of. Exactly!
Fatal wound that wasn't a spear. I don't know if it actually exists, but if it does, you need to find out what it is no matter what. Poison!
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand, right? It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death. Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
I agree with that.
How many times can you see after you agree with Sonya?
That's it.
That's what I think I'm trying to.
If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have...
Poison? It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring...
I remember when I went to investigate Nagito's cottage. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of...
Poison?
Additionally, that's... I see. Now...
If poison was the cause of death...
However, it's common for blood...
I see. This sure seems...
What does that mean?
But, even if blood blotches appear, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
Did he wound him?
That's also a possibility.
But still, both of Nagito's hands...
His left hand was tied up in... If it was a slow-acting poison, it is...
No, the warning label on the bottle
Then it's impossible.
And this is when the hardtail...
You're totally overvaluing that tail!
His mouth was covered with duct tape. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it?
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might just kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Are there any left?
Hell no! No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear.
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, Operation Elimination Method.
The poison one is one. This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle effect. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous for invaders. In a gaseous state, it is steadier than air. It breaks down in minutes with acceptable hydrolysis. as possible to each poison machine for that practice. Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cold place, in a cool place, in a glass or plastic container away from sunlight. This poison is a non-control. Yay! Nah! Yep, this is definitely some resurface. There we go. The gas. What? What? Huh? 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 Fuck my life. Damn it. Of course it was very good. Why did my mind don't actually think mouth and fucking duct tape?